All right, so I'm going to go into my next PS, by the way. Um, and this one is not going to be a rant. This one is to give some perspective. The statement that I'm going to discuss is simply this: there are no perfect people or no perfect person, and there's no perfect relationship. But a person that is perfect for you and a relationship that is perfect for you. Understand what that means. No, there is no perfect person. I don't care what social media shows you. I don't care what social media tells you. I don't care what social media tries to perpetuate to you. There is no perfect person. There is no perfect relationship. However, there is a person out there for each person that is perfect for them to be in a relationship with, and they will have their relationship, and it is perfect for them. That doesn't mean that their relationship is not going to have issues. Doesn't mean they're not going to have problems. Doesn't mean they're not going to have disagreements. The idea is that they together will work those problems, situations, issues out, and their relationship will continue to grow. One of the things that has really become very obvious is that social media has allowed people to view things with a wide lens. And sometimes viewing things from a wide lens can cause people to be um, their discernment to be somewhat out of whack. And what I mean by that is that when people don't have a full perspective of what a picture can do, like they always say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. A post, a text, a tweet, there's context to all these things. Pictures also have context. And behind those smiles, you don't know the story. Behind those pictures, you don't always know what's actually going on behind the scenes that you don't get to see in front of that picture. But that doesn't mean that there isn't someone for you. Sometimes I kind of find it interesting, especially when I'm doing my life coaching sessions, when people will make comments about something that they saw or what so and so is doing, or I saw these folks doing this, and that's the kind of life I want. But those things come with sacrifices, and in understanding that there are sacrifices that are made to do certain things, there's a moment of clarity that has to take place to understand that, okay, if this is what I want to do, then what do I need to do in order to achieve that? It doesn't mean that your relationship is going to be any better because you're achieving a goal. It just means that you guys have a goal that you're trying to set to achieve it. That doesn't make your relationship perfect. It just means that you found the perfect person to make these things happen. That does not mean that you're not supposed to be in a relationship with someone that you don't love. Yes, you should be in love with the person that you're with. You should never get into a situation where you don't feel like this person is going to make you happy. I feel like happiness is a huge part of relationships, because if you're not happy, then why are you doing this? And sometimes the packages that we want don't always, excuse me, the gift that we want doesn't always come in the package that we want. You don't like the wrapping, but what's inside the wrapping is actually what you've always wanted. But sometimes you have to be willing to open up the gift first. You don't like the way it's packed, or you don't like the packaging, so you throw it away, or you say, "Oh, I'm going to get it to somebody else. I don't want that." Sometimes you need to open up the package, open up the present, and see what's inside before you decide to, regift. Because what's inside may be exactly what you wanted, even if it didn't come the way you wanted it to come. one of the metaphors I use in group sessions is that I talk about how people don't like their food touching and how they'll send a whole plate back because their food is touching. When you get it back, it may not be the way you want it. And so now you've given away a whole plate of food because it touched. And again, that's a mental thing. It's not even like a real a thing where it's like, okay, take your spoon, move it around, ask for, if you ask the waiter, hey, bring me I don't want my food touching. Can you please bring it to me this way? And I remember one time I was at a restaurant and they brought the sides because the person said, well, I don't want my food touching. And so the waitress said, okay, no problem. And so they brought the two sides on a separate plate because they didn't have any bowls. But the person that was sitting across from me didn't realize they didn't have any bowls. She just thought they were being smart or being assholes. And she took offense to it. It was very interesting to watch because to watch the whole thing unfold was kind of like watching a flower unfold when the sun comes up. A flower begins to bloom, and it was very interesting. And I use that analogy because I'm trying to be polite about it. But the waitress walked back up. She said, "Well, ma'am, the reason why they're on separate plates is because you said you didn't want your food touching. We didn't have any bowls, like little miniature bowls to put, a side of this and then a side that we just had to bring it on separate plates because otherwise your food would have been touching. You said you didn't want that." So, being her, she sent it all back. She said, "I think you're being smart." Even though the waitress literally explained to her, well, it's because you said you didn't want your food touching. Sometimes the things that we want don't always come the way we want them. And you can choose to send it back. Mind you, my food was delicious. And I do mean my relationship. But the idea is that sometimes the messages I'm sending in this is sometimes you don't get what you want the way you want it. And if you allow things to kind of happen the way they should happen or need to happen, you might be able to find what you're looking for. But there are times when things, the best things, the most awesome things will come to you. And I'm not going to say when you least expect it, but my message is it may not come the way you want it to come. It may not come on the plate that you want it on. It may not come in the package that you want it to come in. It may not come in the wrapping that you want. It may not have a pretty bow on it. The best things sometimes don't always come the way you want them to come. They'll come, but you have to be ready for them, which leads me to another point. Be ready for what you ask for. One of the biggest things that I ran into is people who want things and then they get them and don't know what to do with them. But you asked for this. This is what you said you wanted. So if in fact this is not what you wanted, why did you ask for it in the first place? Be prepared for what you want. Because if you're not in a position to receive what it is that you asked for, then that means you never should have gotten it in the first place. But you said you were ready. If you said that you're ready and this is what you want, then be in a position to receive it. If you're not in a position to receive it, then you may have just missed out on something that was big. It might come around again. It might not come around again. You never know. That's life. That's the gamble of life. When things happen, sometimes you have to gear yourself up because if you're asking for it and it happens, you may have screwed up the thing that you've been wanting all this time. Then again, maybe that wasn't for you. That can also be a possibility. But at the end of the day, if you're going to ask for something, be prepared for it. Because if not, then you may have given up the one thing that you said that you wanted all this time and then it's gone.